When data breaches occur, the most exposed passwords are also the weakest. Here are some common examples, along with how often they occurred. With Cornerstone's password preferences, administrators can safeguard their organization's data by fortifying portal password settings, automating reset options in emails, and enabling secure access for first-time users. Let's start with fortifying settings in password preferences. You can modify settings for the entire portal or at specific OU levels. Settings should be based on your company's security policy. If you don't have one, these recommended settings increase password complexity, making it difficult for hackers to easily guess them. Passwords must contain upper and lowercase letters, be comprised of alpha and numeric characters, have limitations on using consecutive characters, and contain special characters. Passphrase is the new password. A passphrase is a string of words used to gain access. Industry recommendations call for a minimum password length of 8 characters and a maximum length only capped by the capabilities of your system. When it comes to changing passwords, your users probably juggle dozens of others, so don't make them change this one too often. Unless otherwise mandated by your IT policy, consider forcing password changes only when you suspect a data breach. If users are allowed to change their passwords, it's a best practice to not reuse them. Send users an email to confirm the password change, asking them to notify an admin if they didn't initiate the change. Now that you've fortified settings, let's automate resets to reduce the administrative burden of managing passwords. People forget passwords. It happens. Make it easy for them to reset passwords on their own using security questions or email. For organizations where users do not have an email associated to their account, use security questions to allow them to reset passwords. Designate the number of security questions they must answer and the length of characters for question responses. Add at least one question to each required field. If all your users have emails associated with their accounts, it's much easier to use the Reset by Email option. Users receive an email with a link to reset their password. When using this reset option, be sure to configure password emails and include URL reset tags. When you create a new user, you typically set a temporary password and communicate that information outside of the system. To automate passwords for first-time users, use the confidential password reset and email notification option. First-time users receive an email with the password reset link so they can manage their own password. Cornerstone recommends using the confidential password reset with email notification option or single sign-on. In situations where these are not feasible, you can use default passwords. When enabled, you can set a default password and the number of days for which it is valid. The system displays an expiration date based on the lifespan value. You can reset the default and change lifespan settings. Now you're ready to safeguard your organization's data by fortifying password settings, automating resets, and configuring secure access for first-time users.